Fnatic wanted to go for...
Oh, this is Morgana bot.
Ooh.
This is a farming Morgana, or perhaps even Reckless could be playing the Kayle, but I think it is Morgana here is how lane focused the runes are, and they're actually looking to set up a dive here on Nemesis.
Going, there's the unburrow Nemesis under the tower. Because one of the things I want to go back to after this dive is Hylissang is going to be on a roaming support if he can find some impact. Very good unburrow. Spirit's Refuge comes up with Whippo. Carson stays alive. Not going to find the kill just yet. But here comes Broxah. Going to get unburrowed again. Needs to find the Sonic Wave. Flash. E manages to get the auto. I think he's held on to the roaming support. We wanted a champion that he can impact other lanes. With the wave clear and push that Morgana has, the rocket grab is going to instantly collect.
Let's try and get a couple levels under their belt. They can start generating pressure in the 2v2, and Broxah can start to look to play around this lane.
Rift-Herald will be picked up here, uncontested for now. Hylissang, he's looking for a rocket grab, going fishing. We'll find one. Divine Judgment comes down, buys enough time, but look at the shields. Stopwatch comes out. Here comes Whippo. Stand United completes. But that's a huge no! Launching! Shuts Fnatic against the wall, and the Realm Walk was looking for a chase.
Oh, great interrupt onto the Herald. Will buy Fnatic a lot of time. Hylissang still no flash.
Yeah, Hylissang's in so much trouble. Will just get taken down.
So, what's important to reinforce is at this point in the game, RNG are much stronger. It would have turned into a 2 versus 1, which he just didn't want to take. Speaking of ultis...
All right, there's Xiaohu's already flashed. There's the chase. Realm Warp coming out. That's a balloon.
May put a little bit of pressure on RNG to try to get something done around Uzi.
And this is
as a kind of a more consistent team fight comp, right? You know, Fanatics is very reliant on hitting the skill shots.
He's up for Langxing, and he hasn't TP'd yet.
Wow. So... Ooh, Caster actually went into the pit. He does have flash.
I'm looking at the vision to see whether or not RNG can find those flanks right now, because Fnatic did a fairly good job of holding onto Baron sort of river control for a few minutes until that attempted gank onto Reckless, and Nemesis is stepping forward. He gets minion blocked. Not going to go down yet. He still had the Divine Judgment if it was needed, but this will be a tower trade. And he's not going to go for Langxing yet. Here comes Broxah, and he's too late.
At this point in the game, RNG can't do it without Uzi and Langxing, who were both showing on the map, right? And they were clearly correct in that read.
Well, you just get more and more damage, so it adds a bit of health. And I think that against this comp, especially when there is a decent amount of health...
Round warp!
Oh, the flank!
Round warp! RNG are looking for the fight with the Mega Gnar! They've caught themselves onto Hylissang. He gets the Black Shield and will get taken down. Now to focus. Uzi is being shut down and pushed out of the fight. It's a split. 5 versus 4. Divine Judgment still available for Nemesis. It needs to be crucial. It's thrown down, and it will keep Nemesis alive. He stepped backwards for now. Caster below 400 HP. He gets the unburrow onto Reckless. Now Whippo Spirit's Refuge into the taunts. Will not buy enough time. RNG have found 3, and they turn towards the Baron.
Yeah, there's still 5 members alive on the side of RNG. They're going to start this one off. It all comes down to whether or not Broxah can steal the Baron.
Broxah, he's got Flash, he's got Smite, he's got Dragon Rage, but he's got to deal with Langxing. Nemesis is below half HP. Baron at 3,000. Broxah's being forced away. Xiaohu comes in for backup. That is a clean Baron defense. And
Discipline, never grouping up for what could have been a flash ultimate from the Morgana. You know, Reckless had that available for almost the whole fight.
Right now, RNG just have too much pressure on the map, and Fnatic will be forced to concede at least some of their base.
Yeah,
Ming got caught by the Dark Binding. I love that instantaneously, just playing the split push perfectly. They even get an Infernal on the way out. And still, if you're going to be burning through Xiaohu's shields and Langxing's Mega Gnar, it takes time. But look at that damage onto Hylissang. Uzi's Featherstorm comes out. There's a teleport coming down. Caster gets the unburrow onto Hilly. Static Field will buy some time, and the Dragon's Rage sends them backwards. Nemesis, Fnatic, you have to imagine they still have the ability to disrupt RNG if they can be setting plays up, but when they get caught out, that's trouble. Stand United this time is channeled. Divine Judgment is going to get needed in a moment. It's thrown down onto Nemesis. Xiaohu goes forward, goes backwards, and now Whippo's in trouble. Langxing's about to gnar out. Flash is available as well. He throws the boulder. It hits Reckless. Reckless has already thrown the flash down. Manages to catch the Dark Binding, but the rest of RNG are pushing for the base.
Yeah, they're going for the base, and Xiaohu's looking to wrap around here potentially.
All right, another boulder toss. That throws down to Nemesis. There may have been enough acting from Fnatic to pull RNG away from the inhibitor turret, at least for a few seconds.
So much praise needs to be given to Xiaohu for how, in every single fight, he is single-handedly eliminating Nemesis. With a single combo, he pretty much removes Nemesis' health bar, which makes it impossible.
RNG are very nearby. Hylissang steps forward. This is potentially do or die for Fnatic. There's going to be a fight inside the pit. Whipple will not find the taunt. Static Field will go down from Hylissang, but the Megadon comes out. 3 more members of Fnatic are chucked down. Divine Judgment needs to do something here for Nemesis. 4 versus 3. Uzi flashes forward. He gets Hylissang. The feathers fly, and they've come back. 1, 2 for Nemesis. He needs to find more. Xiaohu is low, but Uzi finishes it off. There's not enough damage from Fnatic.
And RNG can close the game off of this. Everyone wiped off the map. They are going to push down mid. Nemesis so close to having the heroics, but it won't be enough.
And when it matters most, Uzi comes up clutch. The star for RNG wins the team fight and will take the win over Fnatic.
Fantastic performance from RNG as they will close out the first half of groups 2-1.
Nemesis was so
For that Sejuani passive, proccing that out pretty quickly. You know, the root from Kiana followed up by a knockup from Sejuani, followed up by the E-stun there as well. For Clutch, that's 3 summoners to 2. It's just, can you punish Cody-san for missing his? Teddy now could be in some trouble.
Could be indeed. The Arctic Assault has come in already. Now the dashes are going forward. Lyra's been exhausted. He's forced to flash. That's a very good Feather Storm. Or Feathers coming back. Rather Faker! He completed the teleport and flies forward. I was completely lost in the fight and it's not done yet. A level 5 Huni. He's come in. Vulcan takes some shurikens to the face and he's running for his life. Huni is blown up.
Be underestimated, and you can still one-shot a lot of squishy targets if you're able to catch them off guard. So Clutch Gaming still have that.
There's a little bit more build up there before they can blow him up.
Yeah, and that was really just a nice wind wall as Huni maybe getting jumped on.
All right, Huni's in trouble. World Ender is...
Really does decide a lot of this game.
Watch DeMonte. He's waiting in the wings. Teleport is now coming down from Khan. Supreme display of talent goes out. Riptail's not dead just yet.
Here's Khan!
It's on the board, but it's a trade of 1-for-1. The Feather Storm goes out with the Blade Caller, cannot get called back. Lyra forced to flash defensively. Faker runs him down with the help of Khan, and Huni finds himself dead once again. This one will be uncontested. And if you'll notice the scoreboard, everybody watching at home, the 2 solo laners, Khan
The wave. He was having to back off, see these turret plates because he didn't know if Clid was behind him, and he certainly is now.
Yes, he is. DeMonte is just blown up under the
Pressure
tower.
down onto Huni, is looking to secure his first tower of the game. 6k gold lead for SKT. They have just so cleanly elements, but we're kind of clutching at straws because you can see, yeah. This kind of summarizes my point pretty much entirely. All kind of personal.
Tough game thus far for Huni, but honestly a tough game really for all of Clutch, right? You know, DeMonte going for this relatively cheap build. He doesn't even...
Setting up vision in the enemy jungle. This is really important when you're trying to play through these side lanes because, again, it gives you access to easily move between the lanes. What we now want to see them do is collapse onto mid to set up the siege, or maybe just look for a pick.
While there's collapses everywhere, DeMonte forced to flash. Here comes Clid over the wall, kicks him into the space. And that was an easy final breath from Teddy.
Into space, Trevor.
Yeah, I know.
That was a hard kick coming out from Clid.
Absolutely was, and it was the 10th
Hasn't been
kill
skipping leg
for
day.
SKT. Hemoplague will heal up Huni, but it won't keep him alive long enough. Faker just chases him down for his 6th kill of the game. The mid lane tower's in trouble. Teddy's gonna dash away. Throws up the wind wall, teleport being channeled, and that's the 4th tower. Vedius, kill Faker, yes or no, Vedius?
No.
Okay, let's see what he does. 3-on-1, 4-on-1 as Cody-san comes down. The quickness is used already. Faker's got flash available. He dashes. He doesn't even use the flash. And Vedius, you are a god. You called it. Faker escapes. And SK Telecom, they start the Baron. That was Faker doing Faker things.
Yeah, they're going to grab the Baron, and I think they can close with this. They are monstrously down turrets on all sides. Clutch just don't have the pieces to answer.
No, they don't, and even if they were to pick a fight, they're so far behind.
And in North America, we know a lot about this. It's a TL approach.
Oh man, all right, the tower goes down in the mid lane. Effort is forced to flash to safety. He almost goes up, but how much has been expected?
And while this is not a slow game by any means, we're not even 25 minutes in, you're still seeing some of the differences between teams like SKT and G2, right? G2, with this sort of lead, is going to group 5 and dive you.
Right, actually, SKT going to move into the base. Faker's coming over the wall. No ultimate available. That's the only benefit I can think of right now. As now Teddy continues to push forward. I'm waiting for an effort ulti into a Teddy ulti. Come on, do it.
You can see SKT, they want to go tutorial style. They have taken down 2 inhibitors. There's 1 left to take. Faker's going to go grab the wave, but to echo Azael's point, SKT feel a lot more controlled in their aggression. It feels like that it's not as chaotic as when you watch teams like G2 in their approach.
Oh, man.
Their solo laners just like to style on people, quick shot.
Absolutely the case. Effort and Teddy finally make the combination work. It just finds a single kill, and SK Telecom obliterate, decimate, dominate, obliterate and destroy Clutch Gaming. I ran out of words before moving towards expletives. SKT go undefeated in the first half of groups and make a statement with that.
Throwing down the gauntlet.
What does this mean for the draft, gentlemen? Kenna will round out the GAM esports team.
Pushing lanes in the early game, but Tian has been the difference maker. The junglers have now met.
They have indeed. The Shock Blast won't find a target though. Levi move forward. There comes the ultimate from Kale. Kiaya's in trouble, running for his life. That's a shutdown at least. Kiaya manages to get out. All right, Levi's not going to spot out Tian here. He's going to be standing in the bush behind him. That is just a supreme display of talent to what we kind of expected from them in the tournament.
Exactly, and like I talked about earlier on, they are so good at exploding these.
How much disengage there is. Kiana ultimate to knock away the engage tools, as we see a bit of an all-in from Zeros.
We do. Trade of ultimates thus far. Zeros going to look to flash the wall. Wait, manages to pull it off. Gimgoom follows suit.
To play to as Levi.
And this is much more of what we expected from FPX. A bit of trading happening in the bot.
More than a trade, my friend. Slay uses the stopwatch to go golden. Now takes a lot of damage as Slay now flashes away. LWX, I'm waiting to see for the chase. Final hours on cooldown. He's chasing forward. LWX can continue to look for more. There's the ultimate from Galio, and it will get popped before he dies. It looked like Levi just showed up in the lane. He's found himself a kill onto LWX. Now the dredge line will not find a target under Zing. Tumbles away. Levi cannot
in the bot side of the map. Stacking his CC well, being extremely patient. He played that beautifully to allow LWX.
Chris already secured by FPX. Crisp and Tia now moving forward. That's an auto attack connecting on a Slay that holds him in place. Condemn will also lock him against the wall. And the supreme display of talent. 5, 1, and 2. The Duskblade of Drakthar and Warrior is doing work. We turn our attention to Do and B. Oh man!
Kiana is everywhere, making it look so easy on this Kiana to pick up kills.
And you can just see how FPX play slightly differently from SKT in that they are grouping and they are diving. They are overforcing these fights and they know they can get away.
The entirety of Worlds, there was 1 gold lead in the plains that was higher. And it looks like Zin's in trouble. It was a good flash pretty quickly on.
What is this champion?
Going to get away. I mean, 6, 1, and 2. It doesn't matter what champion you play, you're going to look like that. Doinby's able to flash away. Divine Judgment keeps him alive a few seconds longer. He got 1. Will look like that.
I mean, the Duskblade is already completed for Tian. He just straight up one-shot.
That I've had in my head, which we'll get to in a moment.
Dangerous.
That's a dash backwards. Depth charge will connect onto 1. Tian's moving forward. Doesn't even hold on to one of the teams from an emerging region. There's no doubt VSS are good, are looking strong. But this is what you would expect.
FPX Snowball's lead so effectively is that they just bleed you out of your own jungle. They don't just wait for the Baron, as we're going to see another one-shot here.
And we are indeed. Zeros stays alive longer than anybody would have expected. Zeros escapes. The taunt comes down for Slay, and finally he's taken out as LWX moves forward. Now there's a threat in the top as Slay is running for his life.
You know, I'm going to say, Azale, this is the other way in which they snowball their leads. There's jungle camps, and there's killing 3 members of the enemy team.
Yeah, why would you take the golems when you could just take the team?
Yeah. Gam moving into an area of the map.
Crisp was looking for the flash hook over the wall. Wasn't able to connect, but they will open the base before 20
Totally.
initiations. But it doesn't matter. You won the lane, right? And that's what matters most. Is now Zeros will throw down the slicing maelstrom. Doenbe's under threat, apparently. He's easily able to escape. And now Doenbe looking for some additional support as Slay will get locked up against the wall. I'm just trying to every version there, Zale. The inhibitor's going to go down in the top lane.
Which one feels best, Trevor?
Kale and Renekton are able to make that happen. No kill in the mid lane. Kiaya and Levi running for their lives as in the tower fort.
Where's it there in the brush? He's just going to check it out. This Baron is going down pretty quickly with the Vayne.
It is indeed. Is anyone going to go into the pit? Shock Blast comes out. Will not do anything more. Here comes Tia. Supreme display of talent. Locks up a couple. Zeros, no slicing maelstrom available. Kiaya running for his life. And now LWX and Doenbe chasing him down. Levi is
Sitting
dead.
with over 2,000 gold right now, and they're choosing not to reset. They recognize that Levi is dead. They have a Baron buff. Why bother going back to spend your gold when you've got more than enough to just look and end this game?
Maybe pushing in 23 minutes, pushing onto the Nexus turrets. The first one will fall. Baron buff still up, and there's not much that Gam Esports can do. The last tower is standing, and Fun plus Phoenix are pushing it. Dredgeline won't find the target, though. The Nexus will be the focus. Do FPX look for the tower dive? Slicing Maelstrom goes in, finds a couple kills. Divine Judgment comes down, and the Nexus will fall. It's the quickest game of group.
This does fit in here as a time to pull it out.
But it's a bit of a jungler's paradise moment for Hana, because consider that you have, say, for example, the expected Tristan
moves earlier, and it was always J-Team reacting. Now 3 versus 2 underneath this turret. The dive is on. The Wall of Pain is in Norscarin, though. He's dead under that turret. A bit of a whoopsie.
a wonderful one. We're going to have to be on our game here, because there's a lot of crazy stuff happening.
There's a Predator on the bottom side of the map there as Hana is booped away. Positioning, but what this means is J-Team pick up an Infernal Drake. Going to help them moving into the we see heading towards the bottom side of the map. Connects another one there. Onto Lilvius, we've got a fight. Yeah, Hana's going to go golden, but he's on a sliver of health as Fofo, trying to be the hero. Doesn't land the chains, but doesn't get any plates.
And that's actually because they all end in that Rift Herald.
Hana looking at this Ocean Drake.
Maybe we need to find a new definition for next level.
Yeah,
it doesn't need...
What is the next level is almost... Yeah.
All in all, Spice feel comfortable. This turret is where Norscarin has had trouble.
Charge as Fofo's going to get stunned up. Splice, this could be the team fight they're looking for. As there's the Solar Flare, and Kobe picks up the kill. About sort of ultra late game as far as those large money, but I'll hold the thought as in goes Norscarin, booped back by the barrel, and is going to be taken down. J-Team.
An area where Splice have made mistakes before, and Karthus not so helpful in that area. Mid lane.
Down in the mid lane, misses the chain as there's the cannon barrage, and that's going to help Fofo pick up that kill comfortably. And J-Team, they found it. It ticks over 18 minutes and they're alive on the map.
And that could be the swing that J-Team is looking. Add that to the fact that Norscarin is behind the item curve, and then once Splice lose the Sion ultimate, they can't really fight back.
Well, it's just a kill straight up. Coming in from the Oblivion Orb onto Fofo. He's got his first item, which feels so pivotal on this LeBlanc. And the Trinity Force is done. We're looking for more of Malmortius, and then Rest is going to be very happy, and a lot of damage available here from Hana as well. So J-Team might be able to answer here as Splice group up as 4, but it's Splice to start the fight. Solar Flare avoided there from Lilvi, who has a lot of DPS. Norscarin is going to feel it and will go down as now the rest of J-Team going in, but it is the turret falling. But Humanoid's going to do the same thing, and Vizichachi finds himself all on his lonesome. Killer Instinct utilizes Fofo diving forward, but he's going to come back. Will find himself a dead Scion to help deal with, and J-Team move towards the Baron pit.
All 5 alive. Xerxes doesn't even have Flash to try and get in the pit. It looks like this one's going over to J-Team.
Should be unanswered here. Xerxes will at least nominally walk up, but Baron should be done.
Yep, Baron is just dead before anything could happen.
Vizichachi and Norscarin's frontline ability is void. It might just be Sky, and she has to back away from the turret.
Hey, that's true. Can't 1v1 a turret with the backdoor bonus available.
Mid-game difference, for sure, in this one. Because
that's a new one. That's a plan under turret. One thing unraveled, another unraveled, and suddenly J-Team
in danger. Koala now over the wall as Fofo misses that chain. He had so much practice from before as there's the teleport, but oh no, it's a disaster. Fizzy gets himself out of the way. And that looks like not the ultimate that we were looking for, but the shutdown does come in. Rest throws his aggressive as well. Yeah. Doesn't have a lot of the defensive options that you see out of a Kai'Sa. Also has the ability to build something like a Zhonya's Hourglass to avoid the ult coming out of Humanoid, but doesn't have any of those choices.
Yeah, usually the pivot after the Muramana into Rageblade is AP, which allows for those that might save him from, say, a Karthus ultimate.
Yeah, and even something like a Mercurial Scimitar.
But this fight on disadvantaged terrain is Norscarin.
Yeah, flashing onto Fofo. It's Norscarin trying to solo him though, and he's out of position. The chains connect, no stun available onto Fofo as Lilvi dives into the back line. Doesn't find Norscarin as that's a decent knockup from Vizichachi, but Hana is going to go golden. Over the wall, will he find the AoE? The Buster Shot to trade onto Fofo, and he has to press his stopwatch. The chain is going to land, and Fofo says, nope, it was cute. Splice can stop this one. The second Baron will go down in favor of J-Team, and now there is no one on this map anywhere near the Elder Drake, and it is going to be to the map. Fofo is split pushing. Humanoid is just abandoning ship up towards the top side of the map. Only 4 members to defend this inhibitor turret in the mid lane, and Fofo says, well, if you're not going to be bottom side, I'm going to destroy it, and he does so very comfortably. Kobe moves down, notices that the inhibitor has vacated the area, and Fofo
keeps going for it.
Well, J-Team have the inhibitor turret down to half health. The push is towards the top side as well. Vizichachi will deal with that one, and now J-Team don't have to worry about the big burly Scion. There's one siege minion. Splice cannot deal with it, and that is the one that's going to finish off this inhibitor turret.
Whoa! That's 65% of his HP from 1W.
That's an owie. Xerxes doesn't have a lot of defensive...
Try and chip down on this third one.
And speaking of which, they got 3 oceans as well, so any poke is not going to be an issue. It is going to be for Norscarin, though. The Eclipse, he's saying thank you very much for that one. Cannon Barrage comes in, Norscarin. Oh no, he's got no flash. Goodbye. Fofo's in there. Has the extra damage. They no longer have any inhibitor turrets as Humanoid goes golden as well. But once again, picked off with the dredge line. Big damage from Rest. He's going to shoot him with his pistol. There's the Requiem, but it might be the dream for J-Team right now. As Kobe over to the side. Will find Fofo with the Buster Shot to try and disengage. But now he's dealing with super creeps. There's no way they can handle this. There is so strong. Damage though as Kobe jumps on, finds the first one, rocket jump over the wall, Fofo! Oh no, that was the wrong one, the mind games. And he is going to survive, but Splice hold on to their base for now.
So Kobe,
even if they buy time, look at the base.
They have to just all in this in 50-50. This is the fight.
Oh no, we're going for the teleport. They're just saying that, well, Splice, if you're going to be here, you're going to lose the game. Cannon Barrage right on top of them as well. Xerxes just going to be taken down as an afterthought. There's the Requiem, is little bit gigantic shield, but in the base there's a pirate trying to steal all their stuff. Vizichachi surviving for a long time, but that ain't gonna win you the game, and now Hana finds the body slam flash. Humanoid is not allowed to head into his base, and it even has the Zhonyas to avoid the death there. Humanoid should be falling. The super creep's gonna be doing the majority of the damage. Kobe underneath his last remaining Nexus turret, but it has no health as Rest gets shot away, and now Koala throws dredge lines to the fountain. J-Team are going to find the victory over Splice in the first round robin. It is going to be so pivotal as Sword is going to lock away the gangplank.
It's bold, but it is a champion that can trade pretty decently in the early game. You wonder
if he took, courtesy of Niski, and this dragon will be taken down without a contest on Griffin's side. Having a look at the gold, however, it is still a slight advantage for C9. Want to continue this one. As Viper with the courage is going to keep himself alive. Grand challenge issued towards the top side. That's Licorice utilizing the riposte for damage as Sword is going to have to flash away. And
now he's flashless.
Here. Gets the extra movement speed. Flash, good sidestep from Sword, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. As Tarzan comes on down, Sword still alive for so long. The last auto gets there, but first blood goes to Tarzan. Returning to Worlds as he retained his spot. Blabber underneath the turret, not going to find Chovy as he continues walking all the way back to the distortion, but Chovy's still alive somehow as Blabber eventually takes him down, but that's a 1-for-1. Ocean Drake has been started up here, but Chovy still lurking. No cocoon to land as Niski doesn't get the bubble, but Chovy jumps on back, trying to get the damage down. It is a stopwatch. Baited out there from Blabber as Tarzan looking to safeguard himself out. Griffin have been split, and the Drake has been started here on C9's side. That is going to be the wrong LeBlanc. still going to be taken down very, very low as Chovy trying to use that corrupting potion to get himself back up again. Chovy picks up his cat, moves on back, and the dragon is taken here from Blabber. Great kickback there for the disengage from Tarzan. Take instructions.
Yeah, these last minute or two have been very promising for C9. Just watching the way that Griffin is trying to interact
The chain by going under it.
And honestly, if I see an execution call, I'm just ganking his top side.
Speaking of ganking, Licorice, that is not going to be enough. The riposte is going to be invested there as he gets on over, but there's a blast cone. Cannon barrage this time is going to work out as Tarzan finishes it with a resident.
And even though that was a kill for Griffin, what do they really get out of it? Because C9 is able to send Blabber to the other side. Sona Kench, which, believe me, it's pretty hard to do.
They might be able to get topside turret because you don't want to TP in. It's dead already. We didn't even see the health bar there.
That was a lot of damage onto the gangplank.
But you can see the battery of Sona keeping everyone absolutely full health. The Ocean Drake helping out so well with that.
Yeah, a bit of frustration there from Viper as well as he dives on forward. The teleport to get in towards the backside is there finally. It is going to be the cannon barrage and Viper flashing on top of Zazel. Great timing on the stopwatch as Viper eventually gets that kill, but that is going to be a late flash there from Chovy. Gets himself out, but will no longer be able to participate. Somehow Griffin have limped away from the fight with a kill, but they don't have an advantage.
Licorice isn't even there. Licorice is getting the advantage on the side lane. They're getting the mid turret and a side turret off of this.
Still the incremental advantage goes the way level 11, 40% CDR, and level 16, they win those wars of attrition even harder.
Yeah, and so if they had
slow motion, chat.
If they had 3 Mountain Drakes,
they can't get them. There's only one left.
Well, they'll be able to get at
least
had
2 Mountain Drakes.
It would have been a 4,000 health, chat.
No.
They could have just stayed there in 50-50.
Meanwhile,
Licorice is just going to take an inhibitor turret, so that's the reasoning there. Sword with a bit of a frustration ultimate, but Viper is making his way in. That's going to be 4 people invested. The Baron has started. You better get this kill, Griffin. Otherwise, you're going to take absolutely nothing. Eventually, he's taken down, but the Baron is getting the same treatment. A teleport going to come in. Could still be the 50-50, but it doesn't get over the wall.
It's like C9 a Bobo the Clown. You punch in the face, it snaps back up again, and all its elasticity giggles at you. As the conventions went out when 700 supports were locked in and everyone was farming gold, sharing it.
Like the hard engage, we're looking for it here as the Devour is used. Sneaky flashes away, but importantly, he is still alive. Viper.
Why is Licorice there?
He's so lucky. Licorice is going to dive into the back of the fight. Tarzan goes down low, but the Fiora is dead. The Sona dies as well. Griffin, they have found it. 3 kills now onto their roster, and Griffin can chase. That is definitely something.
Obliged to go in. Licorice ends up just teleporting in to die, even though he trades a kill onto Tarzan, and that Baron power play is in the negatives now.
Exactly, it seemed like an inevitability. They break the inhibitor given the Baron buff and Fiora. Chovy's still poking onto Niski and Zazel against the run of play.
Cannon barrage comes in as Niski has to flash, gets out of the way of the final chapter, but Griffin now.
Baron buff power play.
Oh my goodness.
It's in the negatives.
Yeah, not too negative though.
Actually make an impact if they go while those flashes are still.
And actually, they have an initiator, a likely one.
Didn't. He doesn't have the gold too, so that's his excuse. I think that's valid.
Okay, just needed to finish off his item there as okay. Chovy gets some zoomies back as Licorice is now in the mid lane with his team, but there's the connection onto Blabber. Does land himself the cocoon. Zazel now has that Devour on cooldown. Griffin, they may have found another team fight. There's the crescendo, but Sneaky only finds one, and Griffin are still on the chase. They do manage to take down the zone. A huge kick into the back line from Tarzan. The grand challenge is not one you want, Licorice. As Griffin, they don't lose anyone, and now they're going to be able to find the Fiora. Goes golden at the last second, but look at that spinning.
It's just being a solo initiator, and 2 times in a row, they've been caught napping while trying to cross-map.
The terrifying thing is the Viper didn't have
side lane. The fact that Griffin has corralled C9 is one of the reasons they're pulling this off.
They're doing it again as Licorice does get the riposte, but Viper is no cares in the world. Lays down the gigantic sword, and that is another dead Fiora. Not able to get any split push work done. That inhibitor turret fell a long time ago on the bottom side of the map, and now it's all Griffin.
Chovy!
We're trying to get it. No, it's turned around. Sneaky with the heals helps out his Elise, locking down that kill. And now Griffin, without their mid laner, this could be a huge problem. Viper trying to spin himself away. Griffin, they're not going to be thwarted just yet, and Sword is on the bottom side of the map. That could have bought some time.
We were talking about how, yeah, no problem, they'll have disengage as TP out attempt here. We're getting interrupted.
Not going to work out there as Siege now onto C9. Remember, late game teamfights were what this team was known for, as this turret now going very low. That is a very long chain to land onto Blabber, but he's going to survive for the moment, and Zazel with the Devour gets rid of that empowered Siege minion. Griffin, they only have 30 seconds left on that Baron power play, and Sword has dealt with the mid lane inhibitor turret. Just too many open doors on C9's side of the map. 10 seconds left until Licorice is back available. Chovy connects another chain, takes a lot of damage for it, but there's the cannon barrage. We're going for another hard engage, waiting for the final chapter to be read out here from Lehens, but he's going to hold on to it for the moment. Finally throws that one out, doesn't find any of the snares, but they do find 2 inhibitors.
C9 kept trying to set up in mid lane with Sneaky and Niski as a siege duo. How long the lane was
stacked, they can't wave clear, so they're actually just trying to get something done by sending all 5 people mid.
Well, they are going to be able to take down this inner turret. Maybe they're going to go for some sort of brute force play. Blabber, I believe, is the villain at the moment. Chovy gets on over, finds Zeyzal, roots him up there with the chain. But not going to continue
might get caught
forward.
here again.
I mean, they're just trying to keep C9 busy as much as possible because Sword's taken side waves as the bot lane is crashing. If now they push C9 all the way back here, then they can turn for the spawn of Baron in 50 seconds.
Yeah, 45 onto that one now as Licorice has to deal with so many super creeps that have caved in. And now the cannon barrage onto 4 members. A lot of damage is down. What the heck happened to Blabber? He explodes with the pistol shot coming in from Sword. And now Niski dives forward, but so does Chovy. They're going to find the damage. It's going to be Niski making his way back to the fountain. No summoner spells available as Griffin turn up. The barrels are huge, and now with every inhibitor down, and why he was on this roster, right? If he's going to play like this is absolutely the right call from Griffin. So Sword
Gets the advantage between these two, and it seems like Griffin will get the first.
Yeah, trying to close this one out, but they're going to still have to do it. A lot of short-range champions here, but Viper gets a Q onto this Nexus turret. Chovy off to the side. Licorice trying to get that fight in, but Viper is so incredibly fast. He is going to go down to the GAs. The final chapter is going to come through. Devour down for Zeyzal is so huge onto Licorice to get him back to the fountain and keep him alive, but Griffin still have everyone up, and they've got so many super creeps bearing down on C9.
Access to the fountain and also Sona means a lot of healing. We can retool this once more.
Yep, also still has the Guardian Angel, so Licorice is very dangerous here for Griffin. They've got a long way to get back as well, but look at these super creeps. The Baron buff still going to be there as well as Chovy has to flash to get out of the turret range as now Blabber goes up into the sky, no longer has that repel, and look at these Nexus turrets. They're just getting berated by all of these minions. It's just insane. Zeyzal, another great activation of the Grey Health, and C9 have kept themselves alive, but there is an army that's on Griffin's side trying to bear down on this Nexus.
Licorice
Into the backside. Yeah, Licorice looking for some shot to find it. Gets the grand challenge for all that extra healing as well, but you can see the Nexus is now bare. C9, they found Tarzan. He's
Griffin
desperately
can't end.
looking for the Nexus. Okay, Lehens. We've seen this one before.
The famous Evelyn ult backwards
yeah.
and teleport end for Griffin against SKT earlier this year.
On the mid outer, but C9 still have the opportunity for a fight if they can find one. Remember, only one of these inhibitors needs to go down, and then 5 members of Griffin can all run towards this Nexus and possibly just take it down.
They need buddy system here to repel those, so there should be a 3-lane push that gets them at least one inhibitor bloodlessly. But with Song of Celerity and people walking up, that time is not yet now.
Yep, it's a 1-2-2 happening, but 1-1-3, and boom goes Niski. See you later. That's the final chapter. It comes in, it grabs the kill, and now C9 without their Zoe. Chovy jumping back and forth as that is a gigantic cannon barrage. So much damage here onto C9. Remember, there are no structures left. Griffin's going to find the Tom Kench. Licorice into the backline, though, gets the grand challenge, but he's down to that GA. Tarzan grabs his opposite number, and there's the spin to win. Viper going to start on this Nexus. And they were weird, they were wonderful, the team compositions were crazy, but Griffin have found it in the end. Another ultimate in the one team fight from Lehens, and the last Q secures it for Griffin and puts them at 20 seconds in the next countdown, and Vladimir is locked away. So let's find out where all these picks are going.
Yeah, that's kind of the one pick that I think I was able to predict here, and would have to be off of Crash making a big play. But here comes
This is going to be the big play into the mid lane as Mission. He has got no good options. He's just wandering around. First blood comes in.
Before going towards a scuttle. No scuttle for you is bot lane.
Already a teleport towards the bottom side of the map. But already Unified has taken down Mickey. We're going to even out the odds here on G2 side. It's Caps. He's going to grab a kill back, and now Unified's getting stabbed. The flash forward from Perps. Another orb and a double kill.
Fortuitous teleport. That could be another kill.
Crash is
Closing in once again. Only level 4 into Yankos as we throw down the orb, and Caps finds the scat of the week. Doesn't get that last one as Yankos.
C9 where Licorice was popping off top lane. Caps and Perks just kept growing that gold lead, but another hook on Mickey.
That's just dead Mickey.
He's dead punch if they want to contest this Drake.
Crash throws in the barrel. They can see the health bar. G2 keeping it at about 1,000. The ball's not going to land on anyone, whether they be from the...
Reward for effort. The side of HK is Cook.
Whoa, blind hook is going to land there. The barrel's going to pop, and Kaiwing grabs the kill on a Mickey. Fourth plate, I believe, and we'll be able to finish off this outer turret in the mid lane. That's going to be the first turret going down. And having that be...
This early?
Well, Mickey might just be dead again. Throws in the control ward. Hook's going to land, though. Barrel back. I've seen this one before, guys.
One of those
games.
games.
Shows that anyone on G2 can be anyone on G2. As another hook is going to land, Yenko's going to at least begin to prove my point, but looks like he's trying to make his way out. Does he have another safeguard? The answer is no. Booped. Mission grabs. Looking for a fight here, but Perks is 2 versus 1 for the moment, but Mickey comes down. Oh, Grand Entrance doesn't get there as Mickey. One more crit would kill him. Flash forward, flash hook not going to land. Has crashed. Doesn't even get the flash. That was out of vision, which is why that missed so horribly.
HKA is going to be pulling actually quite close in the gold, making it under 1K at 16 minutes.
And experience, he's still level 6 and almost going down to a gust of wind every time he rolls by.
And Crash the Grand Entrance, brilliant for G2. In the meantime, Perks taking down the outer turret top lane.
And moments like that where actually you've zoomed in on the kill but realize to herald the minion wave being taxied by Perks to get the turret shows the more fundamental side. As Caps is
yeah, that's their team on the other side of the map, and they can actually get a tier 2.
They make it a very long lane in this bot lane. The Cannon Barrage used to looking competitive.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to end this game in the next 2 minutes.
There's the safeguard back as 3Z, the Hemo Plague is down.
He's fine.
Tides of Bloods are in, but as you can see, you're exactly right, chat, and Crash is going to get the answering kill onto Yankos.
Yankos chasing down.
Yeah, 3Z gets kicked back, as the Q is going to land. Caps, I think there should be enough spears now for them to grab this kill as the unleashed power may be necessary, and Caps decides not to waste any more.
They're still setting up, though. Caps abandoned mid lane, which means HKA can push there. The response was delayed, but this was the response.
Allows you to get access to a team fight, and he's going to get a sweet hat to back it up. So he's very much going for the Wombo Burst alongside a Rakan Yasuo engage.
Just in general, you don't have the highest of mobility, as Perks is underneath an inner turret, and there are 3 members of HKA moving around, but Hui stays about the same. Does a lot of damage there and can deny a lot of the damage back with the wind wall. Not going to invest. Oh my god! Just disgusting damage from Caps right there. G2 still stay on the Baron. They're bathing in the Cannon Barrage as they will be able to take this one down. Crash not going to be able to get in there as the Hemo Plague onto 3 members, but Wonder just going to use it to make sure that they cannot get in there and disrupt the Baron. Look at all the damage. 2-man Shockwave though as Mission trying to get one back. Caps gets shut down, but Unified may have sacrificed himself for it. Perks puts him in the death chamber, and now Mission trying to run for the hills. No mana, but Kaiwing sets up the box to try and stop it. 3Z, these battles need to be respected, but lands the Q. Does Yankos, the flash forward. Mission now not going to get knocked up by the Grand Entrance as Kaiwing keeps his mid laner alive, but can't do it for the rest of his team.
And few teams can turn an even game into that. That was a vision-starved Hong Kong attitude, trying to find access to the Baron pit, getting an uncontested Baron, and then also a one-team fight afterwards.
And those are the fundamentals we talked about. As TPs come from everywhere, orbital strikes, here we go.
Yeah, we're still fighting. Flash Flay comes in from Kaiwing, but he's punished for it. Goes golden for a moment, but he's still going to be dead. Stabbed by... Finally, we might have some respite.
And it's almost like G2 finds moments
I understand exactly why, because he's so extraordinarily strong. His Caps, but G2 now it's the war of attrition. Now it's the G2 that has all of the control. 4,000 gold, the first real gold advantage. The second Infernal Drake is going to be up very soon also, but the game may not last that long. We're about to tick over 30 minutes. And when we go back to our initial conversations of how fast can you beat the bottom teams in your group, when you're talking about these teams that we expect to go very deep in this tournament, it's not going to be G2, but they've been having a lot of fun. Mickey goes golden, not going to die just yet. His Caps just destroys Crash. Didn't even notice because it happens way too fast as Unified. He's almost an afterthought as Perks gets a double. It's Yankos that grabs one towards the end. Mission wonders what happens as his team evaporates. And now Mission, Hemo Plague is down. He has himself that Shockwave, but the Crimson Rush scores the ace, and G2, they're not messing around anymore. They had fun at the beginning, but that stops now as they move to 3-0 in the group.
The slowest game of the three, but still the fastest team at Worlds through the first half of the group stage.
Yep, they were racing through their earlier matchups as well as the Nexus is gonna go down. G2 on the final game of the first round robin. They're gonna play with their food for a moment before taking those last auto attacks. In fact, thankfully, the caster minions are gonna do it for them.
G2 Esports will join.
Is going to be Group B. It's the Fun plus Phoenix J-Team Splice Group. Here's the overall standings. Again, as we mentioned, it's G2 over in Group A, SKT over in Group C, who are undefeated. Otherwise, the rest of these groups, very, very tight. Really only AHQ in a really bad spot down there at 0-3, but a bunch of 2-1 ties in the 2-1-1-2 group. And again, attention over to Group B.